What if winning made you the most hunted person alive? What if the one thing everyone dreams of, luck, money, freedom, turned into the very reason you'd have to fight to survive? In a world obsessed with spectacle, hope is no longer free. It's broadcast, gamified, and sold to the desperate. This is not just a story about survival. It is a reflection of how far we've fallen when entertainment replaces empathy and chaos becomes currency. Welcome to CineBite. Today, we're taking a closer look at a world where luck kills, and choice defines who we really are. They call it the Grand Lottery. A government-sponsored game meant to inspire hope, or at least the illusion of it. Every week, someone's name is drawn, a jackpot worth millions. But here's the catch. Whoever kills the winner before sundown inherits the prize. The result? A society where survival is a spectator sport, where poverty has turned morality into a luxury. Streets are lined with hunters, not for food, not for justice, but for fortune. Every shadow hides ambition. Every smile conceals intent. This world didn't break overnight. It eroded, little by little, under the weight of debt, greed, and spectacle. The lottery wasn't just entertainment. It was control. And that's where our characters come in. People who never asked to play this game, but can't escape its rules. She didn't come here for the lottery. She came to escape, to restart, to rebuild, to disappear. But fate doesn't ask for permission. One mistake, one ticket, one unlucky draw, and suddenly, she's not just another face in the crowd. She's the prize. And in this city, the prize doesn't sleep. Then there's him, a man who's seen too much, a survivor who makes a living protecting those marked by chance. Not for glory, not even for money, but maybe for redemption. Together, they form a fragile alliance, built on mistrust, necessity, and the faint hope that maybe, just maybe, there's still something human left in this world. Their story isn't about outrunning death. It is about what happens when the rules of survival force you to question what life is even worth. The Grand Lottery is more than chaos. It's ritual. It thrives on exposure. Every move, every attempt, every kill is live-streamed, shared, rated. Humanity's worst impulses are packaged as entertainment. The camera doesn't just record, it shapes behavior. People kill not just for money, but for views, for fame, for digital immortality. And in that madness lies the movie's core question: what happens when morality is no longer measured in conscience, but in clicks? It's not just dystopia. It's a mirror, a reflection of our fascination with disaster, our hunger for shock, our addiction to other people's pain. The film's brilliance is that it doesn't have to shout to say something terrifying. It simply shows us how normal horror can look when we call it entertainment. Jackpot asks uncomfortable questions without answering them directly. It is not about whether the system is evil. It is about whether people inside it still have the capacity for good. The characters represent archetypes of modern life. The runaway, haunted by her past. The protector, burdened by his choices. The system, indifferent to both. Together, they create a study in contrasts: chaos and control, greed and grace, survival and surrender. The lottery itself becomes a metaphor for how opportunity and danger are often the same coin, flipped by someone we'll never see. And when the odds are this cruel, the only way to win is to change the rules, or refuse to play. It's about identity, about how much of yourself you can lose before you stop recognizing the person in the mirror. If survival meant becoming the very thing you feared, would you still fight to live? If you could erase debt, pain, or guilt with one violent act, could you convince yourself it was justified? The beauty of Jackpot isn't in its violence, but in its silence. The moments between the action, the breath before the chaos, where humanity tries to whisper through the noise. There's a strange tenderness buried in the brutality, a reminder that even in a broken system, compassion can still spark rebellion. The real war isn't between hunter and hunted. It's between who you are and who the world tells you to be when everything is on the line. Jackpot is more than a game. It's a warning. It shows us what happens when desperation meets spectacle, and when survival becomes the only moral left. We can point at the screen and say, that's fiction. But deep down we know, the seeds are already here. So the question isn't whether we'd survive their world, it's whether we're already living in it. If you were the winner of that lottery, would you run, hide, or fight? Tell us in the comments, what would you do if the prize was your life? This is CineBite, exploring films not for what they show, but for what they mean. Until next time, stay curious, stay human, and remember, not all jackpots are worth winning.